welcome back to the Finals of the Podcast, people. I am back from illness and back from the international break. 3 points, clean sheets, 2 goals, and a brilliant performance from Andre Santos. This is your Burnley versus Chelsea match review. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Javon, and this is another match review. This is your Burnley versus Chelsea match review. But before we get into the review, please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I upload a new video. Listen, it's a beautiful Saturday morning stateside. Let me just... Because, 3 points on the board, second on the table, and Chelsea did what I wanted them to do, which was win their game. Don't worry about what else is going on in the league. Go second for the time being. So when you step into that Arsenal fixture next week, it is game on, right? It will be a fiery London derby. But let's focus on this game where Chelsea traveled to Turf Moor. First, no. Chelsea 2, Burnley 0. And where do we start? Do you know where we start? We start by bigging up the defense. We start by bigging up the defense because they held a clean sheet. And throughout the course of this match, I didn't necessarily feel uncomfortable with like Burnley was going to score. That's kind of down to Burnley being poor, but I kind of want to credit the defense. Before we get started, let's go over the starting 11. I don't have the visuals today, but the starting 11 is as follows. Sanchez in goal. Reece James starting right back. Left centre back would have been Tosin. Right centre back would have been Tosin. Left centre back would have been Trevor Chalobah. Kukurea on the left hand side. Andre Santos partners Enzo Fernandez in the middle. Joao Pedro as the number 10. Gittins actually started this game along with Pedro Neto on the right hand side. So there's a mixture between both wingers that we've been discussing in the past. And we have Liam Delap up front. Now, Burnley started this game for the first 15-20 minutes applying a lot of pressure. They started this game by trying the long ball over the top. They tried to isolate Tosin because they know that's one of his weaknesses. But to be fair to today, to be fair to Tosin, can I pronounce his last name? But to be fair to Tosin, he did handle those well. And along with Trevor Chalobah playing on that left-hand side defensively, they were a lot better today, but they were also helped out a lot by Andre Santos. In that first half, he was everywhere. But we're going to talk about how Andre Santos helped out in this game throughout the course of the review. And in the first half, he was more so defensively sound and there to help with the build-up play. He was helping with last-ditch tackles, along with helping to provide a presence when they need an out ball during that build-up play to transition up the middle of the park. Also, Tosin and Trevor Chalobah themselves were making last-ditch tackles. So credit to the defense defensively in that first half. Now, let's talk about the build-up play. The build-up play in the first half wasn't necessarily the best, simply because, again, I still harp on about this, having a right-footed player at left side of centre backs significantly decreases our build-up play quality. So much so, the Burnley attackers targeted Chalobah, so Chalobah had to go back to Sanchez as usual for him to spray the ball. However, when we would play the ball, because credit to Tosin again, his passing today was better. The issue with today was, during our build-up play, Liam Delap. Liam Delap was very poor in that first half in terms of holding up the ball. Right? I'm seeing touch being bubbling touch off of him. I'm seeing donkey touches. Even when he did take the first touch correctly, his layoff was very poor. And that kind of messes up in the first half. Also, Joao Pedro, really good ball carrying in the first half. Really good play to spin off the ball in the first half. However, there's a sync issue between him and Pedro Neto. Him and Pedro Neto have some issue when it comes on to syncing up. And we've discussed this before. Pedro Neto is the type of winger to receive the ball, take it on the wing, and swing across and put his head down. However, today he was a lot better. I must say, Pedro Neto was a lot better today. Right? Excuse me. So the link-up play between him and Joao Pedro needs to get better, but Neto's overall performance was a lot better. I'm seeing him take on man. I'm seeing him beat defender, and I'm seeing him not be one dimensional, which is one of our biggest criticism for Pedro Neto as a fan base, if we're being completely fair. Now, as it comes on to Joe Pedro in the middle of the park in the first half, he was doing well up until the final third. The final pass was off, and it would just fizzle out. Whether the final pass was off, whether a Burnley player would just body him off the ball, and the physicality. I kind of want to say got the best of him sometimes, or he was just dwelling on the ball too long. Jamie Gittins, I've been one of your harshest critics, but with young players, you're gonna go up and down, and it's gonna blow hot and cold. And today was more hot than cold, especially when he got up the stride. Let's talk about the first goal. Let's talk about the first goal quickly before we talk about the first goal. Shout out to Kukurea. I know Kukurea is just doing Kukurea things. However, Kukurea's positioning today was key to as to why we won the game, because he helped out a lot attacking wise. So, and you see this in the measure of the first goal. Ball gets played, I think, from Reece James long ball. Kukurea is running in behind from that midfield position, which he's used to inverting from. Runs in behind, receives the ball, hold up play. Ball gets played to Jamie Gittins. You think Jamie Gittins is going to do his little stutter step and try to whip it? He actually plays the ball far post, and lo and behold, guess who's running in behind at the far post? Pedro Neto with a curling header right to the far post of the keeper, right to the outside of the keeper. Chelsea's up 1-0. We're celebrating. It's 1-0. And again, getting this early goal was very significant simply because of what it did to Pedro Neto after the fact. Pedro Neto after that first goal was a lot better than the previous games, because I'm seeing him take on players. I'm seeing him beat players. I'm seeing him more confident. And if this version of Pedro Neto can play, then hands up, fair play Maresca. Your integration process of Christopher William won't be under much more scrutiny, simply because you have a player that's doing a job in his position that can get us over the line. And I'll speak about this why later on in the review. So it's 1-0. We're cruising. Honestly, latter stages in the first half, we're cruising. You could argue that we should have been more tooling up, because there's a few missed chances, and we're going at halftime. Everybody's all happy, everybody's buzzing. There was a lot of talk between Pedro Neto and Joe Pedro at halftime, simply because they're trying to work on that chemistry, and I love to see that. Second half rolls on, and Reece James comes on, because again, we have two games coming up. Arsenal and Barcelona. Those are going to be two blockbuster fixtures. And going into those games, we are going to need our captain. We're going to need the best right back in the world, Reece James, to be fit and available. So, second half gets kicked off, and we finished we started the second half similar to how we finished the first half. We were playing well. Badiashile, it is to know that Badiashile comes on for Reece James, right? So the build-up play improves, especially from the back, because when Badiashile is on the ball, he's a natural left-footed defender, and the ball gets switched over a lot quicker. So you get your 1v1. And there's a few 1v1s where I think Jamie Gittins could have done better, but overall he had a good game. There was a specific play that I wanted to talk about in the review where Badiashile wins the ball, pings it to Tosin, and Tosin receives the ball and fizzes it immediately, I think, to Joao Pedro, who's playing that 10 position. And Joao Pedro turns, gets a little space, and shoots the ball wide. Now, Joao Pedro, your finishing has to be better. But things like that, if Unks can play to that standard, then people won't necessarily be honing on you and coming at your neck. You understand? So I want to give a praise to Tosin, because his passing was a lot better today as well. Later on in the second half, we saw the introduction of Malagusto and Mark Gu. So Joao Pedro comes off and Liam Delap goes off. And when Malagusta comes on, I was puzzling where he was going to play. Is that he actually steps into midfield, and I'm seeing this guy taking up multiple positions in the midfield. You're talking about left 10, left attacking 10, central attacking 8. But I guess he's just a Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife in Maresca's system. And he did well. He did well. Gives the ball away a few times, but once he got up to speed, he did well. I wanna circle back to Andre Santos because he made three major tackles. One to recover the ball, and again, this stems from him being everywhere in the midfield, him dropping deep, him receiving the ball, him being able to turn and play the ball going forward, and also him winning the ball higher up the pitch. There's a few times where we wasted a few chances, a few attacking scenarios, but he recovers and wins the ball higher up the pitch. There's a specific play where Malagusto receives the ball and he's traveling forward. It's I think it's 4v3. He plays the ball. He plays the ball to Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto then plays it back to Malagusto, and Malagusto plays it over the top. The attack intent is there, the build up plays there, and all of that, by the way, stems from Andre Santos winning the ball. There was another attack where I think it was a shot where Joe Pedro finds himself free, hits the ball hits the defender. You think we'd get counter on, but then again, Andre Santos recovers the ball higher up the pitch. We didn't make the best use of it. Yeah, who wins the ball higher up the pitch, gives it to Jamie Gittins. Jamie Gittins does a little shutter step and puts the ball, swings it at the far post, but it was a deflection and we got a resulting corner from that. All of this to say that his performance today was key in us keeping a clean sheet and having good attacking play and bringing home the 3 points. Let's talk about the last goal before we wrap up the review. The last goal comes from I looked away and I look up and I'm seeing Malagusto and Robert Sanchez taking the piss. Sanchez receives the ball. Gusto receives the ball. Plays a 1-2 with Sanchez. Sanchez is the ball, traveling up the pitch, pigs the ball to Pedro Neto, and again Pedro Neto with confidence and looking, dribbling with his head up is brilliant. Picks up the ball, beats the first man, splits two defenders, and then plays the ball to Mark Yu. And you think Mark Yu would take the ball, runs it to the corner flag, and then while he's at the corner flag, tries to close the game. No, he takes on the Burnley defender, beats the Burnley defender, pulls it back, and Enzo Fernandez steps onto it. 2-0, Bob's your uncle, wrap up the 3 points, put them in the bag, and then we look forward to Arsenal and Barcelona. Now, on previous shows, I've said I'm not necessarily subscribing to us being in a title race because our players that are not at a high level or elite level does not perform to a substantial level to get us over the line. See, a performance like this, and I know it's Burnley, but a performance like this today is what I mean. When Andre Santos can step up and be good defensively in the middle third and in the final and offensively, and we're not even calling for Caicedo to come on, then our big a player like Caicedo, which is a hugely important critical player for us, gets a rest going into the Arsenal and Barcelona fixture. When you're looking at players like Jamie Gitton, who's necessarily not a starting left winger, can put out a performance like that to help get us over the line. That's what I'm talking. When you're looking at a Pedro Neto who's scoring goals and actually making things happen in the final third, attacking wise, that's what I'm talking about. About our not elite level players carrying us over the line. And shout out to Tosin. When Tosin can have a performance like that defensively, not getting caught out, understand the line, and playing passes to help us progress up the field and get us into better attacking positions. This is what I'm talking about when I said our substantial players has to play at a higher level. Because there's no Caicedo today, there was no Cole Palmer, there's no Estaval, right? And those are our three better players in the team. We could have even brought off Reece James to rest him for the Barcelona Arsenal fixture, right? Malagusta came in and played well. So having wholesale rotation will help us going forward because we're going to play a game every 3 days. We're going to play a game every 3 days, and it is vital that we keep up this level. I'm not saying play world class every week, but play at a substantial level to manage the game and close the game out. And shout out to the defense line again. 3 clean sheets in a row. We move. But that's the review, people. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Wrap it up. 3 points in the bag. Barcelona. Eyes next. Look out for the next episode of the Sideline View. We will be dropping it this week. Up the Chelsea. Well, go on, people. Peace.